classic joke about the two Jewish ladies at the restaurant who agreed that the food was inedible, but the portions were too small. It is sometimes difficult these days to tell whether we're getting too little medical care or too much. Bubba was delivering a truckload of shingles to the doctor to fix his roof. He walked into the doctor's office and the receptionist asked him what he had. Bubba said, "I got the shingles." She wrote down his name, his medical insurance number, and told him to take a seat. Now, 15 minutes later, a nurse's aide came out and asked Bubba what he had. Bubba said, "I got the shingles." So she handed him a 12-page form, starting with his height, his weight, his complete medical and credit history, and told him to fill out all the pages and then go sit down in the examining room. Half an hour later, a nurse came in and asked Bubba what he had. Bubba said, "I got the shingles." So the nurse gave Bubba a blood test, a blood pressure test, an allergy screen, and an electrocardiogram. And then she told Bubba to take off all of his clothes and sit in the wait for the doctor. An hour later, the doctor came in, found Bubba sitting patiently in the nude, and asked Bubba what he had. Bubba says, "Doc, I got the shingles." The doctor asked, "Well, how long have you had these shingles?" "Well, I got into this shingle thing back when I was about 19. Doc said, "Okay, here's a prescription for some stuff you can put on your shingles. If you still got shingles in 2 weeks, come back and see me again." "Okay," said Bubba. "Do you want to have a look at these shingles now?" Doc said, "No, I know what shingles look like. You say you got the shingles, I believe you." Well, can I get the shingles off my truck now?" Bubba asked. Doc said, "I never heard of anybody getting shingles off a truck, but when you do, you let me know." So Bubba got his clothes back on. He went out and he got the shingles off the truck, and he took them up and laid them on the roof. 2 weeks later, Bubba got a bill for $640 for entry processing, the tests, and the examination. His insurance denied the claim because he admitted that he'd had the shingles since he was 19. He objected that he'd only gone there to give the shingles to the doctor, and he didn't understand why he had to take off his clothes. Bubba couldn't figure out why they seemed to be so confused and offended by that. "How did you plan to give shingles to the doctor?" the insurance guys asked. "Well, I'm supposed to see they get laid up on the roof," Bubba said. Well, they were shocked. "You say you got naked and you gave the doctor shingles getting laid up on the roof? Well, now that could either be considered a sex crime, an attempted blackmail, or a biological assault, all of which abrogate your policy." So Bubba had to pay. Bubba soon found out that he'd picked up a virus sitting in the lobby with all those wheezing sick people and their snot-gurgling kids, and he picked up a super staph infection while sitting naked on the doctor's bench. Soon he had a retching cough and boils on his asshole that nothing would cure. He was prescribed antihistamines, antibiotics, antitussants, and antidepressants to keep from feeling low, and also antipsychotics to deal with the side effects of those other medicines. Because of the boils, he lost his job driving the truck for the shingle company. Without the job, he lost his insurance. He would take a second mortgage on his house to pay for the addictive prescription medicines he must now take, but he lost all his equity in the collapse of 2008. Oh, I'm sorry, I mean the Obama lapse of 2009. To keep from losing his house over the medical bills, he divorced his wife and let her have the house and the settlement. Now Bubba lives on a homeless care program where he gets free painkillers, tranquilizers, and a winter coat. He survives by visiting his ex's kitchen door every evening after she gets home from work. She feeds him, but she won't let him in because of the smell and the restraining order which her mortgage assistance program demands. If he got a job, he'd lose his meds, and he can't get through a day without them. The doctor is suing Bubba's old boss because the roof still leaks.
The Cyclopes are sons of the Titans, who are weapons makers to the gods. Having singleness of vision, they lack perspective. They command large parts of the American government and society, and they wear the cassock of its major religions. Workers at the forge and keepers of sheep, they dine on human flesh.